Reminds me when Becca gets here, I'm gonna ask her what her professor name. Dude, this guy pissed me so much off, dude. Oh my god. Dude, like, I know there's some dumb people out there that get their shit mixed up. This guy, she's like, oh, I gotta listen to him for this class. I ain't gotta go to his class, but I gotta listen to him. Alright, so I was home that morning. Well, she starts playing and I'm listening, and this guy goes, he's like, religion, science, something else, and he's like, it's all, like, how did he say it? Like, pretty much, don't believe it. I was like, where the fuck is this guy going with this? He goes, religion. He's like, we only have religion because of our ancestors. Had to find something to cope with and believe in. And I'm like, alright.
Yeah.
And then he goes, but it's not right. I was like, who the fuck are you to tell me what's right? And then he goes, if you can't see it, and if you can't touch it, and if you can only smell it and see it, touch it, then it's real. Other than that, it's fake.
So he's a materialist.
And I said, I want to hit him in the face. And Becca goes, why? I was like, because I'm going to be the first one to fucking tell you right now, just because you can't see it, and just because you can't touch it, does not mean it's not there. It's like gravity. It's here, but you can't see it. But it's here. It's seriously right here. And you're touching it. And Becca's like, what? And I was like, gravity is something visible, just not to our eye form. And, like, I don't know, it blew her away. Like, it just, like, I just know shit I'm not supposed to know, you know? But it's funny. And this guy just went on and on about some stupid ass shit about science. Like, he was like, science can't prove God's real or not. And I said, right there is wrong. That is fake shit. And Matt Gibbons can show you the video on why that is false information. And she goes, why? And I was like, because the scientists have proven a cohesion with God is possible. There is a God. And it is possible there is one without God. It's like, so there, his information that he's feeding you that you're supposed to take from college and go on and into this world with is false.
He's kind of leading to the wrong point with that.
It's kind of like what he believes, not what he should be teaching you.
Because, like, yes, at this point, science can neither prove that God does or does not exist.
And it has been.
But that doesn't mean that science will never be able to, because if God does exist, one day science should be able to prove it. If he doesn't exist, one day science should be able to prove it. But yeah, even in our lifetime, even in 100 generations, we'll probably not get to that point.
Oh, no, dude. We haven't even left the fucking... Well, I think we have. People say we haven't left the moon. But I think we're further out there than people think we are.
But here's the thing, though. God evidently does not exist. The evidence points to the fact that he doesn't. Points to the fact.
But the equation...
Right. But if anyone says that God doesn't exist because of this, this, and this, then they're completely misrepresenting the evidence. Because evidently he doesn't exist. That means that there is
I like the way you put that.
Well, yeah, because it means that the evidence says that he doesn't exist.
But evidently...
But there's no evidence to say for certain that he doesn't. It's just, if you base your belief off of the evidence, off of science, you're going to be an atheist. You're going to think, well, okay, I don't think there's a God. There could be, but I don't believe there is. You know? But yeah, that's just it. Even most atheists who don't even know that much about science won't say there is no God. They'll say, I don't believe there is a God. There's a difference, you know, as to asserting something and describing your belief.
Well, both atheists were like, you believe in God? No, I don't believe in God. Oh, that's cool. But I believe in a creator. They're like, that's two different things.
You're stretching the definition of a creator.
Yeah.
Because if by creator you just mean some law of nature we haven't discovered that made everything exist, then that's a stretch of the definition creator. When I think creator, I think of a conscious being doing it. You know? Like who created that building, who created this laptop. That's a creator. It's a being creating something.
Oh, I'm pretty sure whatever created it probably was a being of some sort.
I don't think so. I think that the laws of nature can explain everything.
But
But
I mean, dude, nature can do a lot of things people don't realize either. Like there's shit like the stories, like the freaking legends that we all thought were legends of the squids and the octopuses, and we're
Right.
coming to find out they fucking exist.
right.
And there's that movie, what is it, Pi? The story of Pi. I don't know. Young kid gets cast out there.
Oh yeah, with the tiger.
Yeah, you seen that?
Yeah.
Oh, it was dude. I didn't want to watch it, but I'm
The
glad I
life
did.
of Pi. I
Yeah.
think that's what it's called.
There,
Yeah.
and that story is based off his description. You know, he might have been hallucinating, but there is shit out there that Mother Nature can do that will probably blow your mind. Like these holes supposedly in the world that water drains into. Nobody knows where it goes. Nature is there is freaks in nature sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
maybe Mother Nature did
But-
somehow
right.
just sweep us up off the ground and like we did form.
But I just find it hard to fathom when people go, "Oh, well, we can't explain it, so obviously God did it."
Right. That is
What? What? You need more evidence than that. To just say, "Well, since we don't know, God did it." No, I'm not willing to end my inquiry there.
I should tell him I didn't know how airplanes would do it either, but let me tell you, I know God ain't doing it.
You know, but see, that's the difference. You know, like, yeah, I don't believe there's any God out there, and if I believe in the concept of a God, you know, because to ants we are a god in a certain way. You know, we step on their fucking anthill. Oh shit, our whole entrance just got destroyed that we spent 3-4 days building. Like that's a god to them.
Yeah.
Now, if I also believe in the concept of a god that maybe an alien created us in a test tube and put us here, mixed our genetics and put us here. Okay, I could see that as being God.
Because we can do that today. It's
Right,
like,
exactly. To me, that would be a god, a concept of a god. That's not a god by definition.
It's playing God.
Right, it's not God by definition. They're not some supernatural being.
That's where, like, I don't know. I'm not against doing what God's power. It's that people I don't think realize when you start playing God, there are consequences. And if you fuck
And sometimes
up,
unforeseen consequences.
yeah, and like people fuck up, like supposedly if you want to get technical, God's not perfect either because he did try to create the perfect race, us.
Well, according to the Bible, he is, which...
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you actually want to
Yeah, I
get
don't
technical,
understand that.
he's not perfect because he left us to destroy mankind for himself because he was not happy with the outcome.
Yeah.
And it blows people away on how you look at that. I'm telling you, dude.
For people to say God is all-knowing and knows everything, and he has a plan. Well, why did God... Like, the Westboro Baptist Church, God hates fags. Well, then why did God create fags? He didn't create fags. He gave you the option. Why would he give you the option then if he doesn't like them? Well, because you chose to go in your sinful ways. Why doesn't he just make us not capable of sinning then? Like, your argument is circular. There's no end to that argument.
It's like, what's the difference of us and a fag? They like guys. Why don't you have a dick and play with yourself? Yeah. Doesn't that make you gay? Dude, like, it just pisses people off when you say shit like that. It's like, I don't understand why you're so against it. Like, seriously, if you think about it, you play with yourself, you're gay. And then it's like, you calling me gay? It was like, I thought I was saying you were happy, because, well, I'm happy when I play with myself. And then the guy's like, you just lose them. Like, they like...
Yeah, just twisted their heads in different directions.
It's like, what? Like, you're not twisting me up to believe
man, I
it's-
forgot you don't have cigarettes.
Dude, honestly, I didn't even know you had one lip. That's kind of into the conversation we were having.
I forgot you didn't have any. I would have offered you one. But yeah, but see, that's the difference with me is like, yeah, I don't believe that an entity exists that we can call God. I don't believe that.
If there is, we haven't found it.
Right, but I'm not willing to say that it doesn't exist. Because how the fuck can I know that? I don't. But I'm gonna place my money where the evidence leads me, and that's the fact that I don't think there's one there. So I'm not gonna live my life being afraid of eternal damnation in hell. I'm gonna live my life the way I want and be happy while I'm here, because as far as I know, this is all I got.
Right?
I'd like to
Till you
believe.
close your eyes and you don't open them back up.
I have a lot of crazy, interesting theories. I'd like to believe that the Buddhist reincarnation cycle is partially true, and we work, we work up our consciousness through different reincarnations until eventually we get to the point where we can leave this realm and venture out as a consciousness or as a spirit, however you want to look at it, into everything else, to the other dimensions.
Until you understand.
I would like to believe that.
That would be awesome.
But that's probably not true. I have no evidence to back it up, except religious scriptures and my own opinion, my own thought experiments. So how can I assert that that's true? I can't. Even to myself, I can't make myself believe that. Even though I would like to believe that, that's what I would like to think happens. And, I have a subconscious feeling that that's the truth, but I know logically, factually, that's probably not what happens. Probably when you die, you become worm food and you go back into the earth, and that's how you live forever, through your atoms and your molecules.
Yeah,
your molecules and atoms never go away.
Yeah.
They just turn into different things.
That would be really cool. Oh, no. You know what I just thought of while you were saying that? What if we actually learned everything from ants, and we were just too embarrassed, and our ancestors, and we're like, well, we can't just say we learned from ants, that makes us look bad. And somebody was like, aliens. Learn from aliens. Ants, aliens, they built pyramids just like we just made them fancier.
Well, that's the thing too with the pyramids. People think that, they had to have alien help. They couldn't have possibly done it. Well, they couldn't have possibly done it with any methods we know that they had. What about the ones they had we don't know about?
Exactly. Well, it's like Jason today said, I said that, did you see that post? I said, just because we can't understand how they built it doesn't mean aliens built it. And then Jason gets on and goes, I'm not saying aliens helped, but he's like, aliens built it. Because he's really into like the whole pyramid stuff too.
Yeah.
He was like, and then I put and he goes, I'm serious, like, do the research. There's no way mankind of this our mind span right now built them pyramids.
Well, fuck, something simple that baffles me about the
But we can build
ancients?
skyscrapers.
Yeah, but even with today's technology, we still can't officially build the pyramids the way they did in the
Oh, I
same
know,
time
yeah.
scale. But that doesn't mean that aliens did it or they had some supernatural force helping them or anything. It doesn't necessarily mean that. That's exactly the straw man theory. That's saying, since we can't explain it, God did it. That's the same thing, I'm just not willing to submit to that, because just what amazes me is the Mayan culture. Not just the Mayans, but the Mayan culture specifically. How good they were at paying attention to the stars and how they moved. Dude, I observe the stars every night since I started this job. Because I like looking at the stars, and I'm out at night.
Shit, huh?
I'm out at we see shooting stars almost every night.
If you're lucky, you can see them.
But I look at them every night, and I always find the same constellations, and I try to, in my mind, track the move. Of course, they had to have been writing it down, recording it somehow. Obviously, because the records got passed down. But it amazes me the fact they were able to chart them things with such accuracy, and the Egyptians were able to.
And they knew
to
spelled
put the
stars that
pyramids-
don't even come in our sky.
Right.
That's the crazy part.
Right. But that's
I've
just
seen that.
it comes from just they watched shit for so long over generations, and it was an integrated part of their culture. It was life to them. What happened up there dictated life down here in their minds. So they had to pay attention to it. They were so focused on what was going on in the heavens.
The question is why got them to do it. There was a click. We just don't know what it was.
Well, I think what it was is they realized, and they were kind of right. The stars, not so much. They don't really affect us down here, as far as we know.
But the planet's close to us.
But the planets do, and planets look like stars. As a matter of fact, most of the first stars that come out at night are almost always the planets because they're the brightest.
They're closer to.
Yeah, they're the brightest. They're reflecting the sun's light right back at us. So, they obviously back then they thought the planets were stars too. And so they were kind of onto something, that things up there can affect things down here. But they just didn't quite grasp it. They went a little too abstract with it. And they were able to obtain knowledge that
gravity, man. They understood gravity without even knowing it, really.
yeah, they didn't understand what it was. They didn't have a name for it, but yeah, they knew about it.
People for gravity.
Yeah.
There was a completely different world back then, though, too.
Yeah, but it's just it amazes me how they were able to so accurately track the movement of the stars. Whenever here in the modern day, we can track it, yeah, probably better than they could now. I'm sure we can track it better than they could now. But me as an individual looking up at the stars and thinking about how hard it would have had to have been to correlate all these things, and like the pyramids, how they were supposedly built in cooperation with the stars and in a certain positioning to line up with them during certain equinoxes and stuff. Like, even the Egyptians, they paid attention to that
They
shit.
even have that picture of that dude in a rocket ship. Almost like, if you actually look at it, like, motherfucker's in a rocket ship.
So,
It's like-
it could have been a descriptive illustration.
Of something that they wanted to do in the future.
Right, or they could have been trying to describe something they saw, like a shooting star. They could have been like, hey,
Well,
that was probably some creature in a ship.
They have airplanes built out of fucking rocks. That should have never been built.
They have little gold figures too, of like jets and stuff like that. But sure, we can't really explain any of that stuff yet. But to just say that, I don't know. I think there's other explanations, than they had extraterrestrials visiting them, or they had advanced technology to where they were able to build airplanes.
Like, we got visited by extraterrestrials. Like, you don't really hide that. Like, that's it.
The only way you're going to hide it is if the aliens come here wanting to hide. And even then, you're not going to keep it under wraps for long.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the conspiracies of aliens being here.
Well,
I
believe that if they were here, they're long gone.
That too.
They
Or if
know
they
about
do-
us and they really don't care.
Yeah, because we're not really probably doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, it's not even that. We're so insignificant. Like, it would be like us going to another planet and seeing a bunch of monkeys who knew how to chop down trees with stone axes. We'd be like, huh, that's pretty cool. Our monkeys back home can't do that. We'll have to come back and check on these guys in a couple 100,000 years, see how they're going. We're not really that interesting to them. They're gonna, people be like, well, they want our resources. Well, there's plenty of other planets out there with the same resources we have in more abundance. There's a fucking star out there that has a core of a 1 trillion carat diamond.
What?
Yeah, there's a star with a diamond core. 1 trillion carats, or 1 billion carats maybe, but I'm pretty sure it was 1 trillion carats.
What are we doing here?
Right?
Let's build a fucking rocket, man.
Figure out how to harvest that diamond, you'd be rich.
I know how we can do it. Here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna build a rocket, and then this rocket's gonna have a nuclear fucking weapon, and we're gonna blow this planet up.
You just catch the diamonds as they come out.
Of course, there's consequences to this.
Blowing up a star, yeah.
We blow up that planet. No, God
It's
knows.
a star.
Star?
It's a star.
A star?
It's a star.
Well, how the fuck are we gonna get to it? I know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna go at speed light.
Dude, speaking of it, did you hear about the project that Steven Hawkins got funded by this rich Russian guy? And there's another scientist involved too with Steven Hawkins. What they're wanting to do, do you know Alpha Centauri? The Centauri system. It's a binary star system. Alpha Centauri A and Bravo, or Alpha Centauri and Bravo Centauri. It's a binary star system with 2 stars that rotate around each other, and they actually have discovered, through their too much to explain here, and I don't really understand it that well, but basically they use like the shadows of the planets passing in front of the sun, the fluctuation of light, how it dims out when a planet passes in front of it, and they basically think that they found a planet in the life zone range of Alpha Centauri. And so, we don't know if there's life there, but it's the first planet close to us.
Likely to.
Right. There's others they found, hundreds of others in that zone. Probably thousands in that zone elsewhere. But in Alpha Centauri, the key is that's like the closest star system to us. And so what they can do is what they're going to do is they're going to send these little 1 gram probes. They're basically just little computer chips. And what they do is they get out into space and they release all these computer chips. These computer chips expand their fucking solar sails. Well, kind of solar sails. What they're going to do is they're going to point a bunch of satellites up at them and shoot laser beams at the sails. To shoot these little 1 gram fucking computer chips, basically, probes, out towards Alpha Centauri. They're going to be able to achieve, they suspect they're going to be able to achieve 20% the speed of light by doing it this method. And they can get the probes there in 20 years. And they can send the data back in 4 years. This project's scheduled to start in the next 5 years. So within the next 30 years, dude, we're going to know what exists in the nearest star system next to us. It may not be any life. It may not be anything interesting. But we're going to finally know for sure what's there. You know, what's somewhere else.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it?
It's about time we do that.
We live in an awesome time in human history.